Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2479 with the release date of Friday, May 2nd, 2025 to follow in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The following is a QST. A high-flying antenna will help study the world's tree population. A ham will be on the helm of Colorado's newest low-power FM radio station, and hams in Brazil will gain CV privileges and lose Morse code requirements. All this and more as Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2479 comes your way right now.
From around the world, this is Newsline, Amateur Radio's first independent on-the-air news and bulletin service. Now, reporting from Wadsworth, Ohio, here's Stephen Kenford, N8WB.
Our top story takes us once again to space, and if you want to have as many quality QSOs as possible, you want to deploy the best antenna possible. That's why a 40-foot extendable antenna was launched into space aboard a European Space Agency satellite on Tuesday, April 29th, from the French Guiana. Its goal is communication. With more than 1.5 million trees around the world, Graham Kemp, PK4BB, has that story.
The biomass probe that has been put into space by ESA is looking to log trees, but it's not the kind of logging commonly associated with forests. During the next 5 years, this antenna will be using P-band radar transmissions to collect data on how much carbon is stored in trees on a number of continents, and thus gauge climate change as a result of deforestation, according to a report by the BBC. This kind of satellite with an antenna that is 12 meters in diameter is the first of its kind for such a mission. The band's relatively long wavelength is an asset because it permits the signals to see deeply inside forests in a manner scientists have compared to how a CT scan operates. The idea was proposed by the National Centre for Earth Observation, whose director, John Remedios, told the BBC that the goal is to, quote, interrogate these forests, end quote. This is Graham Kemp, VK4BB.
Brazil's telecommunication regulator, Anatel, has two big changes planned for the nation's hands. Jim Meachin, ZL2 BHF, tells us what's in the works.
The Brazilian regulator will no longer require Morse code for amateur licenses under changes that have been under consideration since 2020. The regulator will update content in its exams for its 3 license classes. This is one of several changes contained in a resolution released on April 28th by Anatel. The resolution also grants hams the ability to operate on Citizens Band 11-meter frequencies. They must identify with their call signs and are limited to 10 watts of power in AM and 25 watts of power in FSB. They must also stay within authorized channels. The regulator expects to move ahead with these changes after a 6-month period, in which supplementary regulations will also be issued. This is Jim Meachin, ZL2VHF.
The FCC has granted a low-power FM license to a group of Colorado radio enthusiasts, some of whom are also hams. Kent Peterson, KC0DGY, tells us what's in store.
If you want to hear a limited sampling of what will soon be broadcast on Colorado's newest low-power FM radio station, you can tune in online for now. In early April, the FCC gave a green light to the Colorado Society of Wireless and Broadcast Engineering, a collective that described itself to the FCC as local university students, amateur radio operators, and engineers. The group has proposed a 100-watt station on 107.1 FM. The website that previews some of the programming belongs to the Society's founder, Vlad Fomichev, KX4TH. The station's December 2023 application was approved by the FCC after rejecting claims from the license holder of a nearby translator station that the minimum separation distance between the translator and the proposed low-power FM station was not met. According to a report on the Radio World website, the low-power station is designed to benefit its participants as well as its listeners by providing training in audio, computer, electrical, and mechanical engineering. The group has also said it hopes to present community programming, collaborative programming from the nearby university, and will experiment with open-source digital HD radio. If you want to hear a preview of what will eventually be on the air, visit the link in the text version of this week's newscast at arnewsline.org. This is Kent Peterson, KC0DGY.
Meanwhile, in Florida, a low-power FM station has been issued a notice of violation from the FCC for not being so low power after all. Jack Parker, W8ISH, has those details.
Florida low-power FM station, WZPP, has been charged with boosting its licensed 100-watt signal on 96.1 FM to as high as 1,022 watts. According to an FCC notice of violation made public in late April, the station, known as the Voice of the Caribbean, was operating at 811% of its authorized power when field agents from the Enforcement Bureau measured its signal strength in May of 2024. The station has been on the air since 2014, featuring sports, news, music, and commentary that serves the Caribbean American community. The non-commercial station, which is operated by the Broward Jewish Alliance, has been told to respond to the FCC within 20 days of the notice's release date. This is Jack Parker, W8ISH.
In the U.S., Bell Labs, which has a long history making of bold and notable moves in technology, is marking its 100th anniversary by preparing for another bold move. This time to a new headquarters. Selambi, KB3, TZD has that story.
As it turns 100, Nokia Bell Labs is turning elsewhere to continue its important research in the fields of technology and science. The company announced that within the next 2 years, it will relocate to a smaller but more modern facility in New Brunswick, New Jersey, and out of the lab's longtime home in Murray Hill, New Jersey. Over the years, Bell scientists have been credited with developing the transistor, making advances in radio astronomy, and being in the vanguard to usher in the digital age. The company has been the recipient of numerous Turing Awards and Nobel Prizes. Its core business continues to be mobile and optical networks and network system support. One of its most recent innovations was the development of circuit boards printed on glass. These are for use in beam steering antennas to get less signal loss in point-to-point fixed wireless. This is considered an important development as wireless communications moves increasingly towards 6G. This is Selembi, KB3, TZD.
A prolific and well-known author whose specialty was regenerative receivers, or regens, has become a silent key. We hear about him from Andy Morrison, K9AWM.
Charles Kitchen, November 1, Tango Echo Victor, was a tinkerer and builder from an early age, when his enthusiasm for radio often split his attention between shortwave and amateur radio. A widely published author of technical articles and books, he earned the nickname among readers and followers as the guru of regen radios. Charles became a silent key on March 17th. No cause of death was listed in his online obituary. As with many hams, Charles combined his passion with his profession. After being discharged from the U.S. Air Force, he worked as a radio engineer at a classical music radio station, WCRB, and would also serve as recording engineer for the live broadcasts of the Boston Symphony Orchestra at Tanglewood in Massachusetts and for other music ensembles. He later became a hardware applications engineer at Analog Devices Semiconductor Division in Massachusetts. He was perhaps most widely known as the popular and prolific contributor to QST Magazine and other publications sharing designs of his own creation. Charles was 77. This is Andy Morrison, K9AWM.
Time for you to identify your stations. We are the amateur radio Newsline heard on bulletin stations around the world, including the DX2AAA repeater of the Association of Active Amateurs International in the Philippines on Saturdays at 7 p.m. local time. Remember that it is time to think of any promising young amateurs you know as potential candidates for the Bill Pasternak Memorial Young Ham of the Year Award. Consider nominating an amateur radio operator 18 years of age or younger here in the continental United States. Consider someone who has talent, promise, and a commitment to the spirit of ham radio. Find application forms on our website, arnewsline.org, under the YHOTY tab. We are accepting nominations through May 31st. The Italian regulators have given amateur access to new bands, allowing for experimentation and exploration. We have those details from Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
Hams in Italy have been granted permission for experimental activity on 3 radio bands for the remainder of the year. The Italian regulator, ARI, made the announcement on the 18th of April that it was giving an 8-month extension to the previous period, which ran from late August 2024 until the end of this past December. Italian amateurs may operate with a maximum of 10 watts on 40.660 megahertz to 40.700 megahertz, 8 meters, in the same range used for industrial, scientific, and medical purposes. This permission coincides with the peak of the sporadic E-season. Similar use was also granted for 70 to 70.400 megahertz, 4 meters, and 1.810 to 1.830 megahertz. The 8-meter band is expected to be the busiest of the 3. This is Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
This has been a year for introspection in the world of communication. The IARU is examining whether to restructure. In the U.S., the FCC is evaluating the full scope of its rules and regulations, and in the U.K., the BBC is looking at ways to rechart its course. Jeremy Boot, G4NGH, tells us what that means.
With its charter set to expire in 2027, the BBC is using this year and next to examine its relationship with audiences across England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. BBC account holders have begun receiving questionnaires to complete online to let the broadcaster know how they see its future. Tim Davie, BBC Director General, said that the questionnaire, which takes about 10 minutes to complete, is the first of the BBC's 2-part research process to include later audience polling, and the results will contribute towards the BBC's charter review process. The BBC's written introduction to the questionnaire states, quote, "The BBC belongs to all of us. That's why it matters that we understand what you want the BBC to offer you and your family, and the UK overall," unquote. It's planned to publish the findings from the questionnaire later this year. This is Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
In the world of DX, the Northwest Group ARC-MN0NWG will be using the special event call sign GB0AEL between the 5th and the 31st of May to commemorate the anniversary of Amelia Earhart's transatlantic flight, which she accomplished nonstop and solo in 1932. Her trip took her from Newfoundland to Londonderry in Northern Ireland. QSL via MI0HOZ. Harold, DF2WO, and Warren, KN6ZZI, are using the call sign D44TWO and D44ZZI, respectively. From Santiago Island, IOTA number AF005. In Cape Verde from the 4th through the 26th of May. Harold will be using primarily CW and FT4, and Warren will be using primarily SSB and FT8. They will also be looking to make QSOs via the QO100 satellite. QSL both via M0OXO's OQRS. Many Russian stations will be using the special prefix RP80 until the 9th of May to mark the 80th anniversary for the end of the Second World War. See QRZ.com for details. Special call sign DM0LIMES is on the air until the 1st of July to mark UNESCO World Heritage Day. That occasion is observed on June 1st. The call sign DM3LIMES will join this station on the air and operate from the 31st of May through to the 1st of June. The call sign was chosen in recognition of the limes, which borders the Roman Empire at its greatest point. See QRZ.com for QSL details. To mark the centenary of the IARU, Spanish amateurs are on the air using call signs that replace their customary prefix with a special prefix until the 15th of May. How much would you be willing to pay for an antenna? Actually, how much would you be willing to pay for part of an antenna? In our final story this week, we welcome the newest Newsline family member, Jen DeSalvo, W9TXJ, who explores that very question.
There are
are just 14 remaining elements from the original 32-element Alfred antenna that once worked its magic atop New York City's Empire State Building. When the antenna was decommissioned in 2019, some of the elements were offered free for the taking to interested parties. Now, however, the remaining elements are being put back to work for a cause. The Society of Broadcast Engineers New York City chapter is auctioning them off to raise money for the General Scholarship Fund of the Society's Ennis Educational Foundation Trust. This is not your average vertical antenna. It is, in a way, the King Kong of antennas, even though the Alfred didn't yet exist when the famous giant gorilla romanced the terrified actress Fay Wray in the classic 1933 film. This became the first master antenna system in the U.S. when it was installed in 1965. At one time, as many as 16 FM stations used it, earning it the distinction of being the world's largest combined FM station system. The antenna was relegated to auxiliary status in 1990, and by 2017, it was no longer needed. Bidding, which ended on April 30th, started at $300 per element. It remains to be seen whether, like King Kong, those bids ascended to impressive heights. Winners will be asked to take delivery in New Jersey at ground floor level. This is Jen DeSalvo, W9TXJ.
Have you sent in your amateur radio haiku to Newsline's Haiku Challenge yet? It's as easy as writing a QSL card. Set your thoughts down using traditional haiku format, 3-line verse with 5 syllables in the first line, 7 in the second, and 5 in the third. Submit your work on our website at arnewsline.org. Each week's winner gets a shout-out on our website, where everyone can find the winning haiku. With thanks to Amateur News Daily, NHL, APRS Foundation, ARRL, BBC, David Behar, K7DB, EI7GL Blog, FCC, Guillermo Cremerius, TY2, BIL, Inside Radio, JARL, Legacy.com, QRZ.com, Radio Society of Great Britain, Radio World, ShortwaveRadio.de, Wireless Institute of Australia, and you, our listeners. That's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline. We remind our listeners that Amateur Radio Newsline is an all-volunteer, non-profit organization that incurs expenses for its continued operation. If you wish to support us, please visit our website at arnewsline.org and know that we appreciate you all. We also remind our listeners that if you like our newscasts, please leave us a 5-star rating wherever you subscribe to us. For now, with Karen Eve Murray, KD2 GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team worldwide, I'm Stephen Kinford, NAWB in Wadsworth, Ohio, saying 73. And as always, we thank you for listening. Amateur Radio Newsline is copyright 2025. All rights reserved.
the weekly Serenette, featuring club news, trivia, and check-ins from some of the nicest hams in the universe starts in 5 minutes. Get ready for the weekly Serenet starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
CQ. This is WHWKY calling CQ for the Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association Tuesday night net. Your net control this evening is Dave, November Tango, 8 Delta, NTAD in Copley. This net uses the club call sign Whiskey 8 Whiskey Kilo Yankee for all traffic. This is a controlled net, and all traffic must pass through net control, although emergency and priority traffic are welcome to break into this net at any time. We meet on this repeater every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. And our PL tone for this repeater is 114.8. Just a quick announcement. Coming up is our multi-club POTA event on May 31st, as well as our monthly meeting on May 15th. Please go to w8wky.org to keep abreast of all the latest activities for the club. Let's go ahead and take a round of in and out check-ins for tonight's net. In and out check-ins for the Tuesday night Sarah Club net. Please call now.
Kilo Bravo 8 Victor Hotel Mike, Tom and Green, in and out.
Whiskey 8 Charlie Tango Mike, Chariot Portage Lakes, in and out.
Kilo Echo 8 Zulu Hotel Golf, Doug and Norton, in and out.
All right, thank you there, Mike and Carrie and Doug for your in and outs. We got you on the list. We must have a lot of people really anxious for Gary's trivia question tonight. Any other in and out check-ins for these Tuesday night Serenade? Please call.
Kilo Echo 8 Juliet November Hotel, Doug and Rittman, in and out.
Kilo Echo 8 India Mike Echo David Sterling, in and out.
Kilo Echo 8 Zulu Romeo Harry and Wadsworth, in and out. Good evening, Dave.
Kilo Foxtrot 8 Delta X-Ray, it's Adam from the Magic City, and I'll be in and out.
Hey, Dave, this is Kilo Echo 8 Tango Lima Bravo, KE8DLB, over here in Rittman, and I'll be in and out, 73, and God bless everyone. Thanks for running that, Dave.
Whiskey 8 Gulf Mike Fox, Gary down here in Worcester will be in and out tonight. Thanks, Dave.
I think we got someone else trying out there. We got J&H, IME, ZZR, DXX, TLB, and GMF. Thank you all for your check-ins tonight. Anybody else before we go to our regulars? All right, this is WAWKY taking regular check-ins for the Tuesday night Serenade. Please call now.
W8WKY.
Kilo Echo 8 Whiskey Victor KE8WVV, Ethan in Manaway.
Whiskey 8, Hotel Romeo Foxtrot, W8HRF, Josh in Akron. Whiskey 8, Tango Delta, W8TD, John in Wadsworth.
Kilo Echo 8, Echo Hotel Golf, KE8EHG, Mike in Navarre.
Kilo Echo 8, Victor Oscar X-Ray, that's KE8 VOX, Scott Vermillion.
Kilo Foxtrot 8, Golf, Brian and Norton, in and out after a 1,700-mile road trip in the Chick Magnet. 7-3's everyone.
Kilo Foxtrot 8, Delta Tango Papa, KF8, DTP, Lori and Maslin.
WWKY, this is Kilo Delta 8, Sierra Lima Golf, KD8 SLG, Nick in Holmes County.
Please copy Kilo Echo 8, Uniform India Bravo, KE8 UIB, John in Maslin.
W8WKY, this is W3X, Whiskey Oscar 3 X-Ray, John in Cuyahoga Falls.
Kilo Charlie 8, Hotel Delta Papa, KC8 HDP, Jerry in Shreve.
Kilo Echo 8, Victor Zulu Alpha, KE8 VZA, Eric in Strongsville.
All right, I'm going to pick it up here and let you know who I got. For our regular check-ins, we got WVV, HRF, TD, EHG, VOX, G. Brian, scrape those girls off that magnet before you put it in the garage. You don't want to leave those things wet. Welcome back home, my friend. We got DTP, Lori, we got SLG, UIB, we got X, we got HDP, and VZA. Any other regular check-ins for the Sarah WAWKY Tuesday Night Club Net? Please call now.
WB4AIZ.
Alpha 8, Charlie Tango, Craig and Shreve.
Shock in Florida. Echolink.
Kilo 4, Oscar Golf, K4OG, with a big old Shreve footprint on the back.
All right, we got Chuck, Craig, and Mark. Anybody else? All right, we'll make a call later on. In the meantime, let's call in our illustrious president, AA8CS, our custom select. Gary, good evening. Thank you for bringing a trivia question to the net tonight. Give us a little bit of commentary and then go ahead and give us our question so that we can be intrigued.
Well, good evening, Sarah and friends, and good evening to you also,
Dave. Good to hear you this evening, and my pleasure to be here with a trivia question. Actually, tonight's trivia question was inspired by Eric when he did his currency question a few weeks back, and I hope you, I don't know if you'll be intrigued or not, but hopefully you will at least enjoy it. Yeah, we have a club meeting coming up here really quick, with Thursday being the first day of May. The third Thursday creeps up pretty fast. So anyway, that's where we're at. Not a whole lot going on, except for the fact I did get my lawn mowed yesterday. Barely. Everything is so wet, but I gave it a shot. It's more of a whack than a mow. So we'll see how everything works out. Anyway, good to be here with everybody. Let me grab a quick second and I'll give you the question. Tonight's trivia question is, very few women ever appeared on U.S. currency, but this historical figure was the featured portrait on a series of silver certificates in the late 19th century. Who was she? Your choices are Alpha, Pocahontas, Baker, Susan B. Anthony, C. Harriet Tubman, Delta, Martha Washington, and Echo, Eleanor Roosevelt. Wow, messed that up. The question again. Very few women ever appeared on U.S. currency, but this historical figure was the featured portrait. That means the portrait in the middle of the bill on a series of silver certificates in the late 19th century. Who was she? Your choices are A. Pocahontas, B. Susan B. Anthony, C. Harriet Tubman, D. Martha Washington, and E. Eleanor Roosevelt. And there's your question. Have fun. AAHCS, back to W8WKY.
All right, Gary, I'm intrigued. I'm going to start us off and go with D, Delta. And I'll try to keep track of the answers here. Hope everybody's having a great start to your week. We've got Ethan coming up next. Ethan, I'm sorry I didn't match your call to your name the other day, but I did match your name to your call this evening. KE8WVV, NTAD. Over to you. How you doing tonight? What you got for Gary's question?
Kilo Echo 8 Whiskey Victor Victor. Good evening, everybody on the net. And yeah, no, it's no problem. I have friends that range from probably 2 to 72 who mix up my call or my name every once in a while. So I'm used to it, and it's no problem. It doesn't concern me, at least. Anyways, I'll get right ahead with the trivia question. I only recognize 3 of those names, and my answer is going to be B, Bravo, and that's what I'm going to go with. Let me grab a break for time real quick. Alrighty, so I've got some projects that we've been getting done here so far. We have now finished up doing a whole bunch of yard work. We finally got the tractor out for the season, and got the first little bit of grass done so far, and it seems to be growing real fast already because of all the rain we've had. Anyways, we just got finished with kind of moving around some dirt tonight, and kind of filling in some bigger problem areas of our yard. And Mr. Gopher over there has caused many, many pain and miseries, as our yard does not drain properly anymore, and there are holes all over it. So, we're trying to fill in that piece by piece with all the little dirt that we moved from spots that don't need it. Anyways, on another note, we were planning for quite a while to go to Attica, Indiana, and go to a RC rock crawling competition called Axial Fest, and we just learned, I think they posted it on Facebook April 29th, we just learned last Sunday that, we just read the post last Sunday at least, that they canceled it, and so that's quite disappointing. But we have changed our plans around, and we have decided to go with the Flight Fest group out to, I think it's Malvern, Ohio, and go to Fury Field down there and go fly RC airplanes instead. So we've been working on getting a couple of those ready. Anyways, I don't have anything else for the net, and I'll hand it back to Net Control. Kilo Echo 8, Whiskey Victor Victor, and I'm saying 73s, and I'll listen out.
All right there, Ethan. Sorry about the cancellation, but it sounds like you've made up for it just fine. You're going to have some fun. My bean here sitting next to me who's stretching, he and the gopher have decided that they would mutually respect each other's territory. The gopher stays back in the corner. And he's also come to agreement with the squirrels. They've come to a mutual respect. I guess they're fairly equally matched. However, the chipmunks and moles and mice are still easy prey for the boy. So, but the gophers, they can be kind of nasty. So good luck with them. And thanks for joining us on the net. We'll listen for you in the barometer net in the mornings. Josh, W8HRF, you're up here next, and stand by there, John, TD. Josh, what do you have for us tonight, and what's your answer for Gary's question?
W8WKY, W8HRF, good evening, Dave. Good evening to all the, I was going to say the barometer netizens. The club netizens, I guess. I'm going to go, I thought, what was it, Pocahontas? I think that was Alpha. Not going to lie, though, I thought it was somebody else. But the person I was expecting was not in that list, so that's interesting. So it'll be interesting to hear Gary's summary at the end. What else is going on? I'm about to go upstairs and pull apart our sink and replace our garbage disposal. My lovely wife is amazing, and she did all the legwork for figuring out the garbage disposal we want to have and all of the adapters and pieces and parts and everything that we need, and got it all here, and I just got to go upstairs and pull it apart and put it together. So we're going to see how this goes. Yeah, she was busy today. Yeah, I had a pretty good work day. I went out to Panda Express with a coworker, and that was good. I haven't been to Panda Express in a little while, so that was cool. Good food for fast food. And that's about all I got. I think tomorrow's supposed to be relatively nice, so I may get outside and work on the Forerunner. We're going down to Hamvention in a week or so, and the camper's all about ready. We're just about ready to pop it down and hook it up and pull it, but I realized I'm working on the Forerunner, and it's blocking the driveway, so I need to get it out of the way so that we can... Oh, Betty's here and wants to say hi. Would you like a second of third-party traffic, Dave?
Hello, Betty. Welcome to the net.
W8HR for third-party traffic.
Hi.
What do you want to say? how was your day?
Day.
Did you see a cow?
Yeah.
What did he do?
Beep.
He beeped?
Yeah.
Oh, you press the button. And then what does he do when you push the button?
Okay.
I don't know what that means.
Moo.
There you go. All right, say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, that's Miss Betty. Anyways, thanks for making the announcement about the POTA event, Dave, at the beginning there, and looking forward to it. If anybody's interested in participating, we'll be at Walker Pavilion from 10 to 2 and food around noon, and there'll be a talk-in on the WKY and the W8OK repeaters, and the five clubs so far are participating, so see the club website for all the different activation locations. It should be fun. So thank you, sir. Hey, you have yourself a good night. W8WKY, W8HRF.
All right there, Josh. Best of luck on the POTA activations and the multi-club event there. And sweet dreams there to Betty. Sounds like you guys went to the ACMUs today. That's what we call it anyways. Yeah, you just gotta make sure you find the chocolate cow, because those are the best tasting cow milks out there. You guys have a terrific evening. Thanks for joining us on the net. And yeah, I know what you mean. I hate it when I know the answer to the question and the answer's not on the list. That's really frustrating. You guys have a great night. 73. Take care. Let's go ahead and jump over to John, W8TD, who is hopefully has got his land legs back. Over to you, dear John, W8WKY.
W8WKY and the net. W8TD, Wadsworth, Ohio. Connecting by radio this evening. Not a lot to report. I just got done reprogramming all of my DMR handhelds. I forgot that a while back, I think it's been months, anybody with the old format DMR ID had to get a new one. And I programmed it into the radios that I use upstairs and downstairs, but I didn't do it in the handhelds. I tried to use a handheld the other day, and it didn't work. Well, yeah, it wouldn't. So I had to reprogram all of them. I discovered in the process that I have way too many here. I'm going to have a garage sale eventually. Because if I don't use them that frequently, I sure don't need more than one. Otherwise, I was here when the trivia question was broadcast. However, I was distracted, not paying attention. It didn't sound like anything I knew anything about. If I were going to have to guess, I'd have to guess alpha, whatever that was. Hope to see everybody at the meeting in a little while, a couple weeks. WWKY in the net, W8TD.
All right there, John. Well, alpha is not a ridiculous answer. And we will do a reread of the question here in a little bit when we get towards the end of the list and we do some more check-ins. So please feel free to recheck and change your answer if you feel like doing so when we get to that point. But glad you're home safe and doing well and staying warm and dry. We'll listen for you on the barometer. That's in the morning. And we're going to go over and check in with KE8EHG, who's almost always mobile when I talk to him, but now he's not. Good evening, Mike. What do you have for the net tonight? What's your answer for Gary's question?
W8WKY.
Good evening, Dave. Good evening, everyone on the net. Trivia, I don't know.
I am going to go with D, Delta, Washington, first president, first lady. I don't know. I'm just guessing. And then I helped out one time with the school post-prom stuff, and I had to ask questions. And one of the questions I asked, who was the first man on the moon? And I got George Washington. I'm like, oh no. It was just kind of funny. But yeah, tonight was my turn to do the net tonight, the Stark County Aries net, and did that, and I just kind of hung around here and waited for your net and figured I'd join the fun. It's always fun. So hopefully I can make the next meeting. I am going to Hamvention. Going to spend a couple days down there. So what happens in Xenia stays in Xenia, right, Roger? All right, 7-3's all. K8, EHG, back to net.
All right there, Mike. Have fun in Hamvention and don't spend too much money down there. I'm not telling you not to spend money. I'm just telling you not to spend too much. And I'll tell you, one of my favorite memories of my life is having a conversation with the Neil Armstrong, who I like to quip, and I'm really actually sincere about this. He was one of the most down-to-earth persons I have ever met. Truly a humble individual, and somebody that I walked out of the room with more respect for than I did when I walked into the room, and that was pretty amazing. So, yeah, first man on the moon. Anyways, have a terrific evening night, Mike. Thanks for inspiring the memory. And I'm going to jump up to the North Coast, catch Scott up there in Vermilion, see what's going on in Lakeshore. Good evening, Scott. KE8VOX from WAWKY.
WAWKY, this is KE8VOX. Scott up here on the shores of Lake Erie. Good evening, Dave. Good evening, all the listeners. And ain't much going on up here. Kind of misty all day, but I did get my hayfield mowed, so that was a good thing. And they had family lunch, which turned out to be pretty good and whatnot. So it was a good day. For my trivia question, I had to use some deductive reasoning on this one. The way the United States was back in the early 19th century, I couldn't imagine them not picking, picking of the three of them. And I think the one was probably too young to have people know her, so I decided I'd go with the First Lady, the first Lady of the United States, and that's Martha, so I'm going with Martha. I think she was D. So that's my answer to the trivia, Delta. And that's all I got, Dave. Thanks for doing the net. Thanks for getting me in. And this is KE8VOX sending it back to net control.
All righty there, Scott. Yeah, I kind of was having the same kind of reasoning. Yeah, the other women just seem a little too modern, if you will excuse me using that word. You have a terrific evening. Thanks for being on the ClubNet tonight. Looking forward to catching you in the mornings. Let's see, Brian is busy scraping all the chicks off of his magnet. He had a good time at the Corvette shindig this weekend, so have fun there, Brian. With that, and I'm sure you're not anybody who got stuck to the car because you're much better than that, Lori. KF8DDP from WAWKY. Good evening. Thanks for joining us on the net tonight.
WAWKY from KF8DDP. Hope everybody's doing well out there on the net. I'm going to go with I think I'm just going to be a little different. I don't really know the answer. Although you think I would, but I don't. Oh, well. So I'm just going to be a little different tonight, and I'm just going to choose C and kind of just go with that. And hope everybody's having a great Tuesday night. With that, I'll hand that back over to the net. 7-3, y'all.
All right, thanks for joining us, Lori. And that leaves only one unchosen letter, which is Echo. We'll see if anybody picks it up by the time we get to the bottom. Here's the list here. We're about in the middle here. Nick. Just Nick. Nick in the middle. KD8SLG. Good evening, sir. What you got for the net? What do you think the answer to Gary's question is tonight?
W8WKY, this is KD8SLG. Good evening, Dave, and all the club netizens. I'm going to venture my guess tonight is Delta for the trivia question, Delta. I think Martha's a good choice. Let's see. We got 53 sleeps until field day. There's that. And we're hearing a lot of Gary on the barometer net this week and next week. It's going to be fun. KD8SLG, back to net control.
All right, well, I'm going to have to get my gumption up for field day, and time to start waking up giving Gary a hard time in the mornings then. Thanks for the reminder there, Nick. You have a good night. You're sounding well these days. I think you're sounding a little healthier. Very good. John, KE8UIB. Not going out to grab some nickels. Nice to have you relaxing at home there, my friend. And what do you and your folks have for your answers for the trivia question tonight?
W8WKY from KE8UIB. Oh, good evening, Dave, everybody out there on the net. And my mom and dad are going to go with B, Bravo. I was going to go with that. I really think there's something to this question, and that just seems that B is the only one I even know of on any kind of money. So I'm just going to go ahead and go with Echo, and I'll be a team player on this because I really don't have any idea. With that, though, I'm just relaxing, sitting at home, contemplating over my nickels. Me and the wife here in a few weeks, we got to put a new roof on the house, so we're going through a lot of nickels right now, and such is life, But with that, we're relaxing, playing radio, so that's always a great thing, and that is living the $5 dream, a nickel at a time, my friends. And with that, this is KE8UIB. I'm going to go ahead and hand this back over to Net Control. 7-3, y'all. Thanks for running the net, Dave.
All right there, John. Well, wishing you all the best of luck with the roof. I actually re-roofed my house about 15 or so years ago. Did it myself with a couple of friends of mine. I'll never do it myself again, but I do know every inch and nook and cranny of that roof. Every nail and every staple and every piece of tar paper and flashing. It's held up pretty well. Had a little bit of water come around one of the chimneys that goes into the gas fireplace in the living room. Flashing kind of pulled up a little bit, but it was like I said, I know every inch, so it was easy to get up there and fix it. So good luck with that. And thanks for choosing E for us. Ron would be very proud of you. He'd always wait to the end and make sure all the letters got picked. And if there was ever a letter that didn't get picked, he would make sure it got picked so that they all got done. So we appreciate that there, John. Glad you got some nickels saved, my friend. And good luck. And keep us posted. Let us know how that goes. With that, I'm going to jump over to the falls, grab John here, WO3X. otherwise sometimes known as W03X. Good evening, John. What you got for us tonight? What's your answer for the question?
WAWKY, this is W03X, John here in Cuyahoga Falls. That W03X has spread to Lisbon, Ohio now. So when I check into the Lisbon Area Amateur Radio Association Tuesday night 2-meter net, the guy calls me W03X there too. So that's funny. Let's see here. I too am going to participate in one of those POTA activations, and that's going to be the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club. We're going to be down in the valley. It's near Everett. They're off of Riverview Road. So I haven't operated there before, but a couple of the guys did, and it actually works out pretty well, even though it's not way up on a hilltop or anything. Okay, let's see the trivia question. I think I'm going to go with the wife of the first president. So that would be D. Martha Washington. So with that, WAWKY, this is W03X, back to the net.
All right there, John. It's so nice to know that other people have some also known as for you as well. You know, my grandpa's name was John. I got a couple of uncles named John, and a couple of cousins named John. Nobody's named John. They're all named John, and I'm very, very aware of that. Always nice to hear you aboard here, man. Thanks for joining us. Looking forward to seeing you at a meeting here soon. It's coming up on the 15th, which is only 2 weeks away. Well, less than 2 weeks away, because as Gary said, the first day of the month was a Thursday. So the 15th of May, we'll see you all there. Let's see, KC8HDP, Jerry in Shreve. Good evening, my friend. I know I'll see you there as well. What you got for the net tonight?
NT8D Dave, good evening to you and everyone on the net. This is KC8HDP. Well, I'm going to answer the trivia question before I forget. I am going to go with Alpha. There were some Native American themes on coinage at the time, and so there seemed to be an interest in the Native Americans, so I'm going to guess that it was Alpha Pocahontas. I was surprised. I didn't know there was a female on paper issues. Like Laurel Thatcher Ulrich said, well-behaved women seldom make history, so, kind of surprised for the time. Josh, if you're still listening, W8HRF, I would recommend not starting that project this evening. I have found that when I've started projects and the hardware store was closed, that I regretted it, so I would wait till the hardware store was open. Mark, K4OG, sorry, we've been doing pretty good about not stepping on each other, and sorry I left shoe prints on you there. So don't really have anything else, so I'm going to send things back to you, Dave. W8WKY and the net from KC8HDP 73.
All right there, Jerry, and I have to say I like your reasoning on the trivia question as well as your advice for Josh. Both A+ transmissions there. You have a terrific evening. Thanks for being on the net tonight. Looking forward to seeing you soon. And, boy, we're going to get another one of our very active club members here, Eric, KE8VZA. Good morning, or evening, Eric. Gosh. Yeah, it's not barometer net time. Good evening, Eric. Welcome to the Club Net. What's your answer for Gary's question? What you have for the net tonight?
W8WKY, this is KE8VZA here. Hi, Dave. Good to hear you tonight, and good to hear everyone else. For trivia, I was kind of thinking along the same lines as Jerry there. I'm going to go with Alpha for Pocahontas. And let's see, last week I had the riding mower out, and early last week, cut the grass, and right as I was finishing, it locked the left spindle bearing on the deck decided it had enough of life, and it was going to seize. So smoked the belt a little bit before I shut it down, but haven't fixed it yet. So fast forward to last night, and our healthy crop of grass and dandelions was way too long, so I got out there and cut it and finished it just in time. It rained on me a little bit, but the raindrops were really cool. They were like these big globs coming down, and they hit and they like made a big splash. It was kind of surreal. But anyway, got that done. So I'm sure the neighbors are happier with me now. Anyway, so thanks for running the net tonight, Dave. And again, trivia, I'm going to go with Alpha. So KE8VZA, back to net control.
All right there, Eric. Got you down for Alpha. And I have been making the same kind of anecdotal observation about the raindrops this season. Is the drops seem to be, on average, bigger than normal. That just seems to be my experience of the rains. Other people may have different experiences or different opinions, but I think the raindrops are bigger. They sound bigger when they hit the roof at night when I'm sleeping, and they feel bigger when they hit the top of my head when I'm walking out during the day. And I had the exact same problem with my lawnmower deck last fall in August, and I got that fixed. And now I'm hearing this strange little whiny sound when it's in gear and in motion. If it's not in motion, I don't hear the sound. So it's not just the belt alone. It's the belt, the drive belt, but only when the tractor is in motion. So I'm going to have to put that up on a jack and see if I can figure out what's rubbing on what before something breaks next. I can hear it. I just can't figure out what it is yet. So, good luck with the lawn tractor, and try to keep the grass, I try to track the bees and the lightning bugs. Really miss the lightning bugs. I try to keep them around as much as possible. All right, a couple more on the list. We'll get some more check-ins here shortly. I'm going to go down south, get Chuck in here, WB4AIZ. Good evening, Chuck. Thanks for joining the Club Net tonight. What you got for us, and what's for your answer for Gary's question? Might have been in and out. Let's give it one more shot. WB4AIZ, W8WKY.
W8WKY.
All right, let's go ahead and move on and grab in Craig here, AA8CT. Gary's brother from a different mother. Good evening, Craig. What you got for the net tonight? How you doing?
W8WKY, good evening, Dave, and thank you for being the NCO of the ClubNet. Toss between A and D, and of those two, I think I'm going to choose A, just to be alpha'd about, I guess. I don't know. Hoping for some breezes and no rain, because we got nailed last night. Oh, my goodness. And thank you, Jerry, for doing the Skywarn. We got hit pretty hard, and just not any damage to speak of other than a few logs floated across the end of my road, and thank goodness there was a front-end loader that got them off before I went down the hill. But, wow. It came down, and it was interesting. To all of the other club people, I wish you a good evening, and as always, go out and make somebody smile because it will make you feel better. And with that, 73s, have a great day, and in a week we'll probably, well, it'll be a week, and then a few days we'll have a club meeting. Thank you very much, Dave. AA8CT, back to W8WKY, and the rest of the net. Thank you.
All right there, Craig. Well, thank you very much. Glad you're safe. And just a reminder for anybody out there, if you're interested, talk to any of the NCOs on any of the nets about joining the crew. We're always welcoming more folks into the fold. Gary's filling in for some of Fred's stuff while he's on vacation this morning. And it's not all that difficult. You just need a pencil and a piece of paper, and it's a great way to get to learn a bunch of call signs. So if you're interested at all, make sure you talk to an NCO sometime down the road here, and jump in to the rotation on any of the nets. It's a lot of fun. Let's see here. We're getting at the bottom of the list, so if you're waiting to check in, just give me one more minute. Let's get Mark in here. K4G, the original gangsta. Good evening, Mark. What you got for the net tonight? What you got for an answer for Gary's question?
W8WKY and NTAD. Good evening, Dave, and everybody on the ClubNet. I just want to say the HTP, that's okay. You're very soft-footed, so it's not like you were stomping on me. Let's see. Dave, you mentioned raindrops. I noticed when I first came up here, I noticed the raindrops up here were smaller than down south. And I wondered why, and I finally just said, well, it's because the rain has shorter to fall. Doesn't fall from afar and have time to collect and build up. That was my guess. But it just seems the raindrops are smaller down up here compared to down south. Anyway, I've been having fun with my wire. I finally got out of my balcony and along the tree lines. A 71-foot random wire, end-fed, 9-to-1 Bowen. It works. And made some contacts, did the W9 IMS event. I'm in there for the first go-around. I was tuning around. I found out it tunes to 160 about a 3 SWR. So I was trying to see if I could hear some people. I heard some last night, but I couldn't quite make it out. Then I tuned on down to the AM stations. I'm listening to 1590 in the Cavaliers right now. Last I heard, Cavaliers was up 81 to 67. So let me get to the trivia question. Man, oh man. I know Pocahontas is on a currency somewhere, and I'd Pocahontas any night. There you go. That's my answer. A for Pocahontas. K4OG, back to net.
All right there, Mark. I think I'm with you on that. And, yeah, the random wire antenna is really actually quite a nice little antenna. We used that up on the lighthouse when we were up there a few years ago. Brooker let us borrow his, and it did a nice job. And, yeah, you can make some contacts on 160. You can tune around the AM band, absolutely. So have fun tonight. Thanks for being on the Club Net. Looking forward to seeing you soon. And give me a call sometime. We'll go start getting ready for a fox hunt here up with the weather getting nice. This is W8WKY, the Sarah Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association Tuesday night Club Net. We're at the bottom of our regular check-in list. If you'd like to join us for tonight, please give me a call, and I will have Gary reread the trivia question, and we'll keep this open just a little bit longer. So any other check-ins for the Sarah Tuesday Night Net, please call now.
Kilo Delta 8, November Echo Oscar, KD8, NEO. Daryl in Holmes County just checked me in and out.
Double delay for WTA. Also on Real Radio. Good evening, Dave, and how's your own self?
Kilo Delta 8, Tango November Foxtrot on Echolink.
Kilo Echo 8, Quebec Whiskey Echo.
Whiskey Bravo 4, Alpha India Zulu. W4 AIZ and Chuck in Florida on Echolink.
Kilo Alpha 8, Lima Yankee Juliet, KA8 LYJ, Bob, on the beautiful north end of Barberton.
All right, I'm going to pick it up here. KD8NEO, Daryl, thanks very much for your in and out. We added Ray there, W4WGA, Chris, KD8TNF. We got K8QWE and KA8LYJ. And Chuck, we got you. I called you a little earlier. I'm going to get back to you first in line after we have Gary reread our trivia question for tonight. So, Gary, if you would please give us a reread, and we'll take in these last several check-ins before we get our answer.
All right, Dave, very good, and good evening to those of you who just joined us. Tonight's question: very few women ever appeared on U.S. currency, but this historical figure was the featured portrait on a series of silver certificates in the late 19th century. Who was she? Your choices are A, Pocahontas. I think it's Tess. Pocahontas. B, Susan B. Anthony. C, Harriet Tubman. D, Martha Washington. And E, Eleanor Roosevelt. And there's your question. Back to net. This is AA8CS.
W8WKY.
All right, there's your trivia question, folks. And, Gary, not that I care so much about being right or not for the question, but yeah, you can go ahead and switch me over to A Alpha. I kind of I'm going to go with that one just to be kind of an outlier in some ways, I suppose. So, yeah, go ahead and switch me over. Let's go and pick up Chuck here, WB4AIZ from Florida. Good evening, Chuck. Join us on the Tuesday Night Club Net, please.
Oh, Roger, WB4AIZ. There's so many nets rated at the same time, so little time. And I forgot whether I checked it or not. I have no idea on the name, but I could. And you have write-ins, like a write-in candidate for Sacagawea. Anyways, I know. I'll say Eleanor. I don't know. WB4 AIZ. Plus, I had to talk to my girlfriend on the phone. WB4 AIZ.
All right there, Chuck. Yeah, I was just talking with one of the guys earlier about how frustrating it is when you know the right answer and it's not on the list of answers. Appreciate it. You have a great evening. Best to you and your XYL. Take care and have yourself a safe evening this week. See, Daryl was in and out. Let's pick up Ray here. Nice to hear you, Ray. WA4WGA. How you doing tonight? What do you think of this trivia question, or what I should say is, what do you think of the answer to the trivia question?
Well, g'day from the thriving metropolis, rather, of what might as well be Talmadge. I'm actually going to take a flyer on it, because I've seen too many adverts for various and sundry coin collections. Get your collection of this coin or that coin in rare X-amounted minted coins. So I'm going to take a flyer on this question. Although my inclination is to go with Susan B. Anthony, because she's the one I see the most promos for. Let me get a drop on the All-Star. And as far as your club meeting goes, I haven't been to a club meeting or a field day in donkey's yonks. And boy, wouldn't I like to get one. I just need to find a driver. They won't let me drive for whatever reason. I can't figure out why. They just won't let me do it. Let's see. Other than that, the therapy continues. I'm still not walking the way I wish I were. And I'm still playing with HTs. Other than that, back to you, Dave. WA4WGA.
All right there, Ray. It's nice to hear you this evening, and you know, as long as you can reach the road with your stick out the window, I don't see why they wouldn't let you take the wheel. But that's just me. But there is a POTA event coming up on May 31st, so maybe somebody can get you there. And I guess Field Day is coming around again here in about a month and a half or so, which is always a fun one and well attended. So there should be lots of wheels there. So stay in touch, and maybe we can get you to one of those events if we can here. But you take care of yourself, and again, nice to hear you on the net tonight. Let's see, Chris, haven't heard you in a while also. KD8TNF, good evening, my friend. Welcome to the net tonight. What you got for us? You got an answer for Gary's question?
Hi, Dave, KD8TNF, Chris speaking. I do know the answer to that one, so I'm going to stay out of it. Ray, it's currency, not coinage. And there used to be a guy on late-night broadcast television selling recalled American currency, no longer legal tender. And the subject of the question tonight, I wanted one of those quite badly, but was way more than a week of my pay. So, newsflash, 6 has been open for about 8 hours. I have added 8 entities to my log on 6, and it's still going right now. And I got Marion Island one more time. That is shaping up to be more difficult than Bouvet or Crozet was. But anyway, I just wanted to, I haven't been on. I was shocked by PRK's sudden passing. It's too bad. He was an interesting person to talk with, knew tons about astronomy. He knew everything about it. So, 7-3, everyone. Love your life. You don't know how long it's going to last. KD8TNF, out.
Yeah, Roger, Chris, we'll double down on that. Good luck playing 6 meters tonight. And thanks for playing the game right tonight as well. Do appreciate it. Getting the trivia answer right isn't really the most important thing in my day. So you guys have a great evening tonight. Nice to talk to you. And get yourself a bunch of contacts if you can. All right, KQWE, W8WKY. Good evening. What you got for us tonight?
Kilo Echolink, Quebec Whiskey Echo. Well, hello there, everybody. Trivia. I don't have a clue, so I'm just going to go with A, Alpha. Sounds like it's just about as good as anything. Yeah, I just finished up the Cincinnati Liars Net. I figured, well, I'm going to go and hop on and finish up the Club Net. The net I was on before was good. I did find out that one of the fellows that was very active in that net, he passed away. It was Whiskey Bravo 0, November Papa, November, followed by the name of Robert Fay, affectionately known as NPN Bob. He was an interesting guy. He had an interesting life. He always had some really good things to say. So. And let's see, today I went and got flowers. I did Sarah stuff. It seems like with Sarah, there's always something. I don't know. Well, usually it isn't anything big, but there's always something that we have to take care of. So I worked on that, and took a nap, and did some odds and ends around the house. Here I am. So everybody, stay safe, stay healthy, and have a great night. This is Kilo Echo 8, Quebec Whiskey Echo, back to Whiskey 8, Whiskey Kilo Yankee.
All right, well, thank you so much. Do appreciate it. And I was just trying to look up some folks here on my old log here. I used to keep a log sheet on everybody I talked to on the barometer net. And you got me looking that up. So sorry about that. I kind of going through that, looking up Ted's stuff here. Let's see, K8LYJ. You're at the bottom of the list here, but not at the bottom of my heart. How you doing there, Bob? And what do you got for the net tonight?
W8WKY, this is K88LYJ. I'm not doing horrible. It was a pretty
pretty busy day, a lot of errandizing. Took a big load of stuff over to the local food pantry and then went to vote. Looking at preliminary results, the two issues we had to vote on look like they're passing soundly, so that's good news. And that's about it over here. As far as the trivia, late 19th century was right after Wounded Knee, and there was a big outpouring of romanticization of the native tribes, and that's when the buffalo head nickel showed up, and Indian statues started showing up in little towns all over the place, including a corner lot here in my fair city. So I'm going to go with Alpha, just because it seems to be the right time period for Pocahontas to show up on a silver certificate. I'll turn it back to Net Control, KA8LYJ.
Hi there, Bob. Thanks very much. And it's just I kind of like a lot of the statues around here in Portage County and around Lakeland or Akron. I get really one of my pet peeves is those people who are out west of the Mississippi who call themselves the Midwest. And it's, no, you're not. You're the Great Plains or you're the Mississippi Valley, but you're not the Midwest, because the Midwest is what used to be the West, which is now somewhere in the middle of the country, which is, we live right on the border right around here in Ohio. This is the Midwest, like from Ohio, maybe out through Illinois into Mississippi. Once you get past the Mississippi River, that ain't the Midwest anymore in my book. So, anyways, that's my 2 cents. We're at the bottom of the list. Any last-minute check-ins before we go to Gary for the answer to tonight's trivia question? Please call now.
Yankee Mike Yankee. John?
C8SQV.
All right, got you there, Mark. Yankee Mike Yankee. I have you in my head from the barometer net on Monday, but I missed your prefix. If you come back with your full call so I can get the first couple of letters, and go ahead with your comments and let me know if you need us to repeat the question for you.
That's no great. Yankee Mike Yankee. John down here in Waynesburg. Got in here a little late. I did hear the question, though, and I'm going to go with D Delta. And I'm good. You guys have a great night, and we'll be listening.
All right, thanks for joining us tonight. I do appreciate it. Mark, heading up to you there. You got slot number 33 this evening. What you got for the net? And do you have an answer for Gary's question?
Well, I don't have anything for the record. But I do have for the record, the Cars Group's taking a bus down to Dayton. Yeah, 2cars.org. Number 2, CARS.org. $50 or $60. It could be $60 now. But KDFTS can help you out with the bus and that. And I didn't hear it, the trivia thing. I didn't hear it, so it'll be a wild guess. I don't know. So I don't even know what they're talking about. KSFQV.
All right, Mark. In short, the trivia question was the first female portrait on a silver certificate from the 19th century. Was it A, Pocahontas, B, Susan B. Anthony, C, Harriet Tubman, D, Martha Washington, or E, Eleanor Roosevelt?
I'll try Eleanor Roosevelt. I'll try that one. QV.
All right, Mark, thank you very much. Now we can call it a net, and I'm going to go to AA8CS to get our answer to the trivia question for tonight. Good evening, Gary. Give us an answer and give us any other comments you would care to share.
Good evening again, Dave. Yeah, no, not much else going on here. Again, the Club Net coming up this Thursday, a week from this Thursday on the 15th. And, of course, the Multi-Club POTA event. All of that is happening. So, as you said, Dave, very aptly put, check out the W8WKY web.org, W8WKY.org website for all the latest happenings. It's all up there. So, anyway, that's that. Here's the trivia question. Very few women ever appeared on U.S. currency, but this historical figure was the featured portrait on a series of silver certificates in the late 19th century. Who was she? The correct answer is D, Martha Washington. She appeared on the $1 silver certificate in the 1886, 1891, and 1896 series. She remains the only woman to have appeared as the primary portrait on U.S. paper money. Now, some really good answers. Dave, you changed your answer, buddy. Pocahontas was engraved on older U.S. banknotes, but she was never the primary portrait. Susan B. Anthony, she appeared on the $1 coin, but not paper currency. Harriet Tubman, this is kind of interesting, she's proposed to replace Andrew Jackson on the $20 bill, but not yet issued. The U.S. Treasury has committed to the redesign, but the actual release depends on security updates and policy priorities. If issued, Harriet Tubman would become the first African American and the first woman in over 100 years to be featured on U.S. paper currency. And last but not least, Eleanor Roosevelt, often mentioned as a potential figure for future currency, but has never been on U.S. paper money. So, no angst intended here. We're supposed to have fun with this. Not sure where T&F was coming from with that, but if you know the answer, fabulous. Give the answer. You don't have to say, well, I know definitively that the answer is. You don't have to do that. Just give the answer. It's supposed to be fun. Back to net. This is AA8CS.
All right there, Gary. Well, thank you for the question tonight. Yeah, I remember when the Susan B. Anthony coin came out, and I was aware of the Harriet Tubman controversy. Roosevelt just seemed too late for that. Martha seemed to be like the go-to answer, but yeah, you know, there was the whole Buffalo nickel when I got kind of sucked into the historical nostalgia there for my answer. So, hope to see folks at the meeting on the 15th, POTA event on the 31st. Listen up to Nick, KD8SOG. He will tell you how many sleeps you have until field day, pretty much on a daily basis. I want to to thank everybody for participating in tonight's net, all the check-ins, all the listeners. I want to thank the club for being here and giving us a community to belong to. At this time, we were going to close tonight's net with 33 check-ins from the WAWKY repeater in beautiful Doylestown, Ohio. We now return this repeater to normal, well, whatever that is, regular amateur radio use. 73, everybody, and hope to see you all at the meeting in a week and a half.
W8HRF, AA8CS. Josh, you still around?
AA8CS, W8HRF, coming to you from under the sink. What's up, Gary?
All right, hopefully raindrops aren't falling on your head. I was just curious. You had said that you were expecting a different distractor. There was another distractor that I had considered, and that was mentioned. I think that was by Chuck, AIZ, down in Florida, Sakagawa. That wouldn't have happened to have been the person that you were referring to, was it? Over.
Yes, that would be. I think I misheard the question at first. I wasn't listening close enough. And I was thinking of Sacagawea, or however you say her name. I think she's the one on the $1 coin. Do you know? I think that's right.
Yeah, roger that. So first off, I didn't choose her as a distractor mainly because I didn't know how to pronounce it. There were different pronunciations out there, and I thought, you know what, I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, she, like Susan B. Anthony, she was on the $1 coin. And that was a limited mint. As a matter of fact, you can buy those. I think it was in the early 2000s, if I'm not mistaken, that was minted. But never in any kind of abundance. But anyway, yeah, no, I was just curious about that. I was wondering when you said it. And what a pleasure to hear Betty, as always. All right, well, we'll catch everybody on the barometer net tomorrow. Thanks for that, Josh, and I'll talk to you soon. I think I'm going to see if I can catch the Cavs. AA8CS. I'll be clearing your final there, sir.
All right, roger that, Gary. Well, you have yourself a good night, and thanks for doing trivia tonight. So we will say 7-3, and thanks for the information. AA8CS, W8HRF, hear you in the morning, Gary. 7-3, all.
AA8CS, KD8TNF on Echolink.
KD8TNF, AA8CS. Hi, Chris.
Gary, I just want to remind you that the Net Control Emeritus, Ron, always had a loose rule that he didn't want people running off to the internet or spoiling the fun otherwise for people who are trying to guess at the question. People would, answer early and go on with these long-winded answers that would make the choice obvious. So I just didn't want to do that. So nothing weird about it. And that's long and short of it. So I hope you enjoy the Cavs game. KD8TNF.
Yeah, roger that, Chris. I get that, and I certainly appreciate that. That doesn't mean you don't have to answer the question. I mean, it's all about fun, sir. That's all. KD8TNF, AA8CS.
KD8TNF out.